Good evening. Welcome again to another presentation here in the Issues Room. The Issues Room is the alternative social media platform emanating out of Liberia. We've organized ourselves to discuss the things that matter to our country first, then the African continent and the Black diaspora. We come here on Tuesdays and Fridays every week, and tonight is our 98th edition. And we'd like to welcome all of you, our viewers all over the world, wherever you are, picking up signal to this 98th edition. We'll be featuring another organization. Tonight's conversation is around community related issues. And this is not about politics and all of that. So it's going to be more of a community related issues and engagement. I'm Volcano Shelton, and here goes my colleague, Moses Sandy in Delaware. Good evening, Moses. Welcome to our 98th edition.
Good evening, Volcano. And let me say good evening, good morning, wherever our people find themselves. Uh, as usual, I'm in high spirit to be in the issues room today. The weekend started today, man. Love Volcano, the year is gradually coming to an end. Time
Absolutely.
flies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'd like to encourage our viewers, wherever you are, please share the page, share the link, invite a friend, love our page, like us. We are the alternative to everything else other Liberia. Today, everyone has a talk show. Everyone. Government officials having talk show. I don't know what time they found to do their jobs, but
Yeah.
people want to be in the limelight. But we come here with substance, Moses, and we come here to hold, conversation that is very pertinent to the growth of our country, the development of our country, to the enlightenment of our country, citizens, and we just want to do so much for Liberia, especially in this time of its being in peril and sick. There's no better time to discuss the things that matter to Liberia, to the citizens, to the development of the country, to the security of the country, the rule of law of the country, the health sector of the country, the economy of the country, the education of the country, sector of the country, every sector, tourism, fishery, the mining sector, our extractive resources that we hear people are just taking out of the country. The government is utilizing the security force to man some of these mines. The AFL providing security and posting the soldiers who should be mining our country and protecting our borders. And so where are we when we can't come here and talk, Moses? We are trained to hold these kinds of conversation, and I don't fear having this conversation because, again, it is not about a person. It is not about George Weah. It is not
No.
about the CDC. It's not about Prince Johnson and Joel Howard Taylor and Charles Taylor and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. All of these people have made their marks, and whether the marks are positive, whether negative, posterity will judge them. History will judge them. But it's about the country, and we cannot shrink from this responsibility.
Definitely. And I agree with you 100%. Whenever we come in here, we don't come here discussing personalities. We discuss the national issues. All we want is a peaceful, stable, and a thriving Liberia. That's all we want.
And
You
sometimes we have
know,
to we have to add personalities because they are the newsmakers, the shakers, and the breakers. And again, as I said, whether they're positive breakers and shakers and movers, we'll talk about it. When
yeah,
they're doing things that are contrary to nation building, to regaining our status in the community of nations, of course, we have to make mention of those things. So I don't think that it has anything to do with a particular person. It has to do with what they fail to do. And that's where we come
absolutely.
in, Moses. That's where
Hmm.
the issues room come in, or comes in rather, to discuss the issues, the things that
Discuss
they
the
fail
issues.
to do for
Yeah,
the country. Because imagine you stay 12 years in power and you leave nothing. It was a waste. But you leaving with everything. You personally and your cronies are leaving with everything,
yeah.
right? But you leave
Hmm.
nothing for the country. You leave nothing for the young people. You leave nothing for the generations yet to be born. And you say we should sit here and see our lives? Hey man, come on now.
and
Time we're scared over. We can't be scared no more. We've gone through a civil war that sharpened our intelligence, that made us to start
yeah,
thinking differently. But let's not sidetrack. Let's go straight
yeah,
to trending news. I know you have something important that you wanted to throw
yeah.
out there tonight.
The 20 the 20 news from my end. Actually, I have two important stories, but I would like to focus primarily on Legis. Legis is the Liberia Institute of Statistics and Geoinformation Services. That is the entity of government that is responsible for conducting census in Liberia and doing other statistical work in the country. As per constitution, Liberia is required to conduct census every 10 years. It's my understanding that for more than 10 years now, Liberia has not been able to do that because there have just been too many challenges. As 2023 approaches, the expectation is that the country will be able to conduct a census before December. Legis, the entity of government that is responsible for doing this volcano, I mean, it is so disorganized. The agency is so disorganized. The public image of this agency, the malfeasant alleges, the inhumane treatment of Liberians is so disturbing, volcano. You know, I watch a couple of videos from Liberia. Right now, Legis is in the field recruiting and training individuals that are supposed to be involved in the gathering of data for the census.
Are they the ones to call enumerators?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but so they are conducting training, and a couple of things that really stood out to me, Volcano. It touched me really emotionally. I was really disturbed today. Um, this is the first blunder. Legis has sub offices in rural Liberia. They, they administer a public test for the selection of candidates. Individuals sat the test. According to themselves, individuals sat the test throughout the country. Guess what? The central office put out a list that does not match the reports that emanated from rural Liberia. For example, Volcano, if you sat the test in Montserrat County, you go to the center where you sat the test, you will find a group of individuals' names that shows that they did not even participate in the test, but their names were posted by the central administration. The reports that emanated from the sub offices, none of those reports were considered. And I was listening to this hearing at the Capitol building with the chairman, with some legislators, and I heard one of the executives said that they had some internet connectivity problem. I was wondering, I said, is this guy out of his mind? If you administer a test in Lofa, how do you put up a list? There's no coordination. For Canada, that's the first fraud. Now let's come to this one. The dispatch, they ask people to go to rural Liberia for Canada. The trainees. Can you imagine somebody living, someone who is in Grand Cape Mount County, say you're traveling from St. to Robert Sports. Legis gives you $5 for transportation. They don't provide you no lodging, no feeding. I mean, I was disturbed just by hearing that. The training is to be held for 10 days. So it means that each of the participants will receive $50 for transportation. That excludes what? Lodging and feeding. You go into a strange environment. What can $5 US do for you on a daily basis? You need housing. You need feeding. And these people claim to be Liberians, treating Liberians like animals. Why do you exploit your own people like this? And guess what? I was listening to this deputy for some kind of administration or whatever. And this Smith guy, who is so dishonest, so corrupt, he telling the lawmakers that, oh, well, they have little funding. The funding is coming from the United Nations, so they could only provide transportation. People commuting from Grand Crew, from one part of Grand Crew to another part of the country. In fact, the entire country, people moving here and there, Volcano. In Maryland, in Lofa, in Bone County, the lawmakers had to intervene in providing feeding for their people, lodging for their people. And these are people who claim to be Liberians, treating other Liberians like animals. How do you give someone $5 a day? And instead of even making the payment lump sum, what did they do? They decided to split it into half. They said, well, we have learned over the years that when we make payments to trainees, some of them will not show up.
But that's true now. In a minute when I will
Eh?
disappear.
But
So
Volcano, come on now. I mean, $25 for 10 days? Volcano?
yeah, after the work done, then you pay the other 25. But man,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. Sometimes
But
you
man, our
gotta
people are
understand.
heartless, man. Volcano,
No,
man. I
no,
mean,
no, Moses. I
yeah,
know we gotta rush
yeah,
through this quick. You
yeah.
gotta understand. I went to Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
They recommended the contractor guy. The guy came, he said he was Steve Bender. When
Yeah.
the man came, he saw the way. He said, okay, chief, I charge you $300. I said, okay. He said, but you gotta advance me. Then I will come tomorrow and start the work. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean I should advance you? You're not buying my material. You gave me the quote. Here all the
Yeah.
material. I
Yeah.
purchased everything. It's ready. And you come here, you were supposed to be here since 8 o'clock this morning. You didn't
And
show
you
up
just
here
come in.
until
Yeah.
2 o'clock. Then
Mm-hmm.
you telling me, oh, that transportation business, you were hustling to get trans. So now I should get you 150 US for you to go. You never worked for me. I know you from nowhere. But I should get you 150 US dollars to go and come back tomorrow. I said somebody told you say I from behind the bush. But that's what the man wanted to do to me. The man was serious. The man said, Chief, you got to trust me. I will be back. I said, if you will be back tomorrow, you'll be back tomorrow.
Come
And
and
you
do
will
the
not
work.
get a dime until, because you even bend the first zero. The first zero, you want to work small, so I'll say, okay. But you telling me it's late now because at 2 o'clock, you got to hustle to get back home. And I'm going to pay your way, but I'm going to also give you what they call $150 part payment of the money when you have not been the first zero.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm listening to what you're saying. So Legis is right. Some of these kids will go there to recruit. I'm coming, Moses. They'll go there and they want to be recruited to be enumerators and only to take that money and walk away. Where you will find them? What kind of system in Liberia to find? That man get my $150. I'm done. Where I'll find him? So
Yeah,
that's the
but
situation. But let's
but
not dwell on it. Your second story because
yeah,
the guy
yeah,
was
yeah.
it said
Quickly,
one
let me
good thing.
just say this quickly
Yeah.
before we move to the next one, right, Volcano? I mean, let's be reasonable here. Looking at the cost of living into this Liberia, the cost of transportation, how do you give somebody $5 a day to cover transportation, lodging, and feeding
It's
in a
preposterous.
strange environment?
It doesn't make sense.
It
But
doesn't.
this is why corruption is so pervasive to the point that no one is checking the other. No one is checking the other because in terms of that budgetary allotment, whatever you're going to put forth to say that this is what we're going to do for census, that has to go through all of the mediums to make sure everyone agrees that this money can serve the purpose. But if
Of
they
course.
just put in the rest of the money in their pocket and only trying to do something haphazard, then they will pay for a poor result. And that's what you find now. And these guys are what? Road blocking. If you know that
Of
in this
course.
same story, there have been a lot of roadblocks on the Bambagida Highway, I believe. Cape Mount, people
Hmm.
can leave Sierra Leone, people can leave Sierra Leone to come to Liberia. People can leave from Cape Mount to come to Montserrat County. People can leave from Montserrat County to go back to Cape Mount. So there was a serious roadblock. And so this is what you get. For every time people are mistreated, they will take to the streets. And
Of course.
one day the kettle will explode. Because when you put the tea kettle
Yeah.
on
Oh
the
yeah.
on the on the stove, on the
Yeah. On
fire,
the stove.
whatever,
Yeah. Hmm.
it has a timer. When it starts to make that whistle,
You
you
got
need to
to
turn it down.
turn it
And
off. Yeah.
these whistles are being blown by protests, by the people demonstrating, by the people continuing to remind this government because of your irresponsible behavior, your lackadaisical approach to issues of national concern. One day, the kiddo will explode. And I don't know how they're going to deal with it. But let's move to the next thing quick because we don't have much time. Hopefully, you can
Okay,
do
we
that
have
in a
limited
minute.
time. So
Yeah.
yeah, the next important story has to do with the National Transport Authority, the NTA. Workers there today stage a protest.
There we go
They
again. I
held
just talked about protests, right?
yeah, the
Okay.
stage of protest. They
The,
held
the kettle is
the
boiling.
national leaders, a hostage, threatening not to leave the compound until they were paid. Some of these guys said they have not been paid for up to 7 months. Some have not been paid for months. So the question I ask Volcano is: you have a transport authority that generates money on a regular basis. Are these people telling us that they run a transport authority that cannot pay its workers, yet they generate money? In fact, some of the drivers were even saying that they go for days without fuel. What is the
But they're
problem
not
with the
generating
management?
money, Moses. Then they're not generating money. If they're going for days without fuel, then
But
of course
but
they're not
but
generating money.
no, but Volcano, let's look at this. If you, Volcano Shelton, you decided to go into public transportation in Liberia, and we have a lot of people in that country who are doing that successfully, you know that, right? So if those people can maintain their fleet of vehicles, and then you have a public administration running public transportation, are you telling me that these people cannot manage the NTA?
The president can manage the country, but he put in people there who can manage. So what do you expect? It's a ripple
Oh man.
effect, Moses.
Mello, and
Yeah,
these
let's
are the
leave that,
people that
man.
running all over the place talking
Yeah,
about, second term, second term, second
yeah. The
term.
president can run the country. Then he
And George
appointing
Weah
people.
is,
He's appointing people who can
yeah.
even run their own little sectors and areas they're giving them. What do you expect? But listen, gentlemen, it's good to have these kinds of conversation, ladies out there tonight. We want to welcome Tyler Miller, Sam Abu, Rachel Harmon, Mr. Thomas Awaji, Flomo Livingstone, Jared Kiawu, all of you wonderful folks, Othello, Dillon. We say thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We have a great conversation to hold this evening. We have the vice president of the uh, Liberian Community Association of Central Jersey, and the metropolitan areas. Now he's going to define that because I know there's a new nomenclature for the organization. The last time the vice president was here, they had a previous name, and so we will want to know why this new name. But in the meantime, I'd like to welcome Mr. Peter Massaquet. Mr. Peter Massaquet is no stranger. He's a brother. He's a colleague. He's an affiliate. We share the same common patrimony. And this evening we have here in our studios the 98th edition, and we thought to bring you guys because, again, we say it's not all about politics. Most of the conversation sometimes driven by politics, and Liberians like to come to political conversations. But when you think about community enhancement, community empowerment, community development, that is why sometimes we form these Liberian organizations to empower internally and externally, meaning back to our country. And so it's good to have you here tonight. Thank you so much for coming in studios. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Shelton, and thank you, Mr. Sandy, for inviting me to your platform, the Issue Room. Like you
Yes.
said, from the media background myself, so I'm always excited to be in your company. But before I move forward today, on behalf of the president the entire executive and the board of directors, we want to extend our condolences to bereaved families within the Liberian community. The last 2 weeks been so difficult for us. We have many community members that have been racked with bereavement.
Mm.
We want to ask them to remain calm and with the leadership stand by them, and God is in control for everything.
Oh
From
man.
the issues room, we say sympathy to your members in the organization, and we hope that this doesn't, you know, create some degree of hindrance to your upcoming inauguration and your fundraising ball that is slated for next Friday, the 28th, I believe, 7 p.m. in New Jersey, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, we'll come to that. But just before Moses coming, tell us the new name. Why?
So, as part of our process to move the community forward, um, we decided to rebrand because the previous name prohibits, or let's say limit, the council membership in which we have. Um, we only had Liberians that were part of this particular association. We intend to make it more broader to incorporate other nationals. This is why we are aiming for the 501c3 status for us to be able to network, reach out, and raise more resources for our people. So we went through the rebranding, and we also going through our constitution review process to change certain provisions within the constitution that will give other non-Liberian citizens the opportunity to also be part of our organization. So that's why you saw a slight change within the name, and that's what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks going forward now.
So when you look at what you just, or one listening to what you just said here, incorporating other nationals, then why is it still the Liberian Community Association?
Well, it is
Why is not the Diaspora Communities Association or the African Communities Association?
so the name matters to some extent, but that doesn't in any way prevent other people from being a part. Like you have the issue room, even though it's the issue room, but you have several other persons can participate or affiliates. Or if you have a setting where you have a board members, they can also be a part. There are a lot of stuff behind the scene that I would not want to disclose on the air, but we have had series of internal discussions that led us to this, and we believe that it is in the interest of the community, it is in the interest of the organization, and it is in the interest of every one of us. So this is why we decided to go through the rebranding. So it was not done only by the president, the vice president. Per our current constitution, the highest decision-making body is the general body, the members. So we
Mhm.
reach out to them in close consultation with the board. We have members of the board that approve this. The general body approve it, and we decided to move forward with it. So this is more better for us because the previous condition in which we were operating on didn't permit us to do certain things that we wanted to do, as I said, bigger grants. Like for example, we intend to launch the community food basket. We have over 5,000 members within our community from both the Central Jersey and the metropolitan areas. In order to access this money and seek grants from bigger organizations, you need a 501c3 status. The previous startup we operated on couldn't permit us. And under the IRS start code, it's very difficult to leave from one end to another. We could be hit with series of fines and what have you. So the easier way the law gave us to do it was to rebrand, and that's what we decided to do.
So let me ask you this question, Peter. Now that you guys have chosen to expand your membership, will non-Liberians who reside in the state of New Jersey that choose to associate with the organization, will they be allowed to participate in your electoral process or in your elections?
Well, like in Liberia, I push it back, right?
Yeah,
Currently, Liberia just passed the dual citizenship bills.
yeah.
With the dual citizenship bill in ADE, there are laws that prevent other Liberians that migrated to other countries that gain nationality from participating in certain electoral process in Liberia, even
Yeah.
though they have the opportunity now to do all the stuff, right, to go back home.
Yeah.
So the revised constitution that we're working on, voting process will be limited to Liberians. But in terms of membership, other affiliations and programs and what have you, it will be limited to, it will be voting process and stuff will be limited to Liberians, but
Yeah.
the community being open to other people being a part to affiliate, participate in networking event. It's open to everybody. Those people will be, they know their function, they know their roles, they feel a part. Like for me, Peter Masigua, even though I'm a Liberians, I'm also part of the Latino Merchandise Association as a Liberian businessman. So the people cannot prevent me because I'm a Spanish, I'm a Liberian man. I'm not a Spanish person, so I can't be part of that organization. I do pay my dues. I benefit from networking activities. I do marketing and more than members, and I get customers from there as well. So there are a lot of things into play that other people are going to benefit from for being a part of the particular organization. So that's why the Liberian community is not just like a social club wherein people put money together to support certain birthday party or do certain thing. Our scope of operation from the community level is way beyond that particular boundaries. So this is why we are so excited to revise our constitution, rebrand the community to bring in other people.
Okay.
Yes.
So give us the line of the event, because this is why you're here tonight to disclose the event for next Friday, to gain the kind of momentum, to have people coming in. And usually programs like these, they're on Saturday, but you chose Friday, and it's a working day, and people leave work a little late. Why Friday, and give us some of the activities for that event.
Well, thank you. So there were so many factors that led up to this. Number one, in New Jersey, the issue of hoard is a major impediment. This is why our leadership is using this particular inaugural fundraising board to raise money and have somewhat called the Liberian Community Center, where we can have these type of activities without finding difficulties in booking her from other people that already booked. We had a committee set up. We started this right after the Independence Day celebration. It was interesting to know that every single hall that we went to in New Jersey were already booked. We went outside Trenton, we went to Hamilton, we went to Lawrenceville, we went to Ewing, we went to Morrisville. These are places that fall within our territory under EULA, right? But we couldn't find a hall. So we had no choice, even to get the West Streeton Ballroom, of which we're having our event next Saturday, the 28th. We have to, I want to say
That's
thank you to
Friday.
Tyler Miller. Tyler Miller,
Mhm.
which is one of the board members and former president, she has to use a connection to enable us get that particular hall for Friday. That hall was already booked by another party. But because wherever rules there are exception, she was able to use her maneuvering power and connection to enable us to get that particular facility. And don't get me wrong, this is corporate America. If you part of something and that you hold so dearly, you will make time for it. We all have our time off our jobs. We all have day off. We can call it. We have every means available to us. We don't want to initiate bad habit or encourage people to just call up from the web because we are all volunteering, but we want to make an appeal to our people. This is the only date we have available. And because of the urgent needs of the community, other projects that we have to implement, we couldn't afford to sit back and wait for 2023 March or April before we host the inaugural program. Kind of think about it, Mr. Shelton and Sandy. The primary objectives of hosting this event is to raise money for the community. So this is a black tie event. We are encouraging our people, all our Liberians, our foreign guests, and other nationals listening to us to please come and support us. We have a little cover charge of $75 per person. This money here include your food and unlimited drinks. We also have,
Unlimited.
yeah,
Unlimited.
So
yes,
is that limited? Is that
unlimited,
right?
unlimited,
Unlimited or
meaning
limited?
Yeah.
unlimited, meaning that you don't
Oh
have
yeah, yeah. You can
we don't
drink
have
as
restriction
many.
to just
Yeah,
one bottle of drinks or
yeah.
whatever. You can
Okay,
drink whatever you want to drink. You can
okay,
eat whatever you want to eat. It's variety of drinks. We are
okay.
not going there for alcoholism. No,
Yeah, I mean,
we
we
are we
just
are going
asking.
to raise money for the community. We are going to network, and we are also going to socialize. For too
Okay,
long, our community has been down. We have not had the opportunity to have event like this for a common goal. So I believe that our people is going to show up. They will show up and support the leaders in which they elected. And I can tell you what, we've been getting a lot of good support from our people. Imagine right after the election in May, we had to celebrate Independence Day celebration. No money in the covers. Community have been very inactive for almost 10 years. And we were able to turn things around because of the support of the community people. Our people, they are very resilient. They are committed to making sure that we succeed. This is why they came in and numbers under the ring to elect us into office. So
What
this is
what
what
is
will be
this?
taking
What's
place.
the sales now for tickets?
So the ticket sales, we have three categories. We have patrons. Patrons tickets are sold for $250. These are people, I mean, as you purchase your patron ticket, you are entitled to come along with a guest because that money will enable us um, secure our building that we talk about, the Liberian Community Center. So we're targeting certain individual that will purchase the ticket. And I can tell you what, we have had close to 30, 40% already purchased patron ticket, and people are calling by day to purchase the patron tickets. We also have couples ticket. It's a same 75, but in business, you have to strategize and turn it around. It's $150 for the couple ticket, the same as 25 per ticket. But if you purchase that one ticket, you can come along with your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, your boyfriend, or whoever guest you want to bring, you are entitled to come with them. And then we have the regular ticket for single person, which is $75. And that's a ticket on sale. We have our ticket on. You can also purchase this ticket from online. We are on Eventbrite. If you go on Eventbrite, it's an online platform that many people go to monitor or purchase tickets for different events. When you go on Eventbrite, you tap in Liberian Community Events in Trenton, it will come up. You have the opportunity to purchase your ticket from there. And now we are encouraging our people. We don't want our people to wait for the 28th before going to that door to purchase ticket. We're trying to limit the influx of people that come into the door to purchase ticket because some areas they prohibit certain transaction going on there. This is why our tickets have been on sales for the last 1 month and a half now.
And how's the sales going?
I mean, the sales is going pretty well, but let me tell you something. We have good number of guests that are coming from outside New Jersey to grace this occasion. We have Eula. Eula have so many chapters, a whole lot of them. They will be here to grace this occasion. Besides Eula, we have
Because I was
other
about to
places
ask you the notable
in
representation at the event. Who are some of the notable people? Your guest speaker, what the event would look like
So we have
for that
the
month.
commissioner for Mercer County, Mr. Samuel Frisbee. He's a keynote speaker. He's a very good friend, a Harvard graduate. He been into the humanitarian work in New Jersey and beyond for so many years. He spearheaded the Trenton YMCA. He has loved the words, also running for city council position. But he's a well-known individual, and we can't wait to listen to that powerful message and you'll be imparting into us on the 28th. We have the CEO of our Mercer. He will be in attendance along with his team from the R family. We have the mayor of Trenton, the mayor of Ewing. I mean, mayors from every townships in which that we operate, except for one, the Hamilton mayor, who sent in his request that he will not be here because of travel engagement, but he will send his contribution and his representative will be there as well. So you have other community organizations within the Liberian community. We are rating every single community organization. They will be there in person with the members and leaders to see how best we can work together. Because remember, we are the model organization representing the Liberian community within the Central Jersey area and the metropolitan area. So we are soliciting our support. So we're not only limiting this to certain individuals, we are talking about all Liberians and non-Liberians. So we expect that hall to be jam-packed. This is why we make an appeal to our people. If you haven't purchased your ticket, please purchase your ticket. We have tickets at JY Store. JY African Store is on Martin Luther King Junior Boulevard. It's a very famous African store here in New Jersey. People come from Delaware, Philadelphia, and other places to purchase from JY Store. We have tickets there. I also have tickets at my office, Peter Maziko Insurance Office on South Broad Street. Like I mentioned, tickets online. Our financial secretary, Jerry Kerr, who is in the chat session here, he also has some tickets that he's selling. You can contact him. So if you don't have the cash to buy the ticket, that's completely fine. We live in a digital world. You can purchase your ticket via Cash App or Zelle. The Liberian community has a Cash App account and a Zelle account that make it more easier for you to purchase your ticket. So you can buy your ticket now. Your name will be listed at the door. You don't have to necessarily come here or wait to go to the door before you purchase a ticket because there will be limitation. And we want everybody to be able to attend this event to
What's the
witness
expectation of the audience
So
size? The
so
audience
we
size.
are expecting little over 350 guests.
So
The
that's
hall take
that's
up to yeah
that's how
the
much
hall
the audience, the
yeah
building
the
can
hall
take.
takes more than that, but because of fire hazard, we
Okay.
don't want to break the rules. So we want to limit our guests to at least 350. So we
okay.
are encouraging our people here because we are the host. We want us to book that place, and then while our other people come from outside, because the program is about us, it's about you and me. So that's what we are encouraging everybody to come and support. Like I mentioned, it's a black tie event. Now, if you don't have a black suit or black dress, you are still welcome. But we will not allow individual wearing short trousers with some sacking pants or sneakers and muscle arm to the event because it is a corporate event. So we are appealing with our people. If you get your purple suit very nice, you can wear it. But we are encouraging you to honor the dress code, which is the black tie event. You can wear your nice or black coat suit, your nice black purple suit. We will appreciate that. So I mean, so far so good. That's why, and we have a series of announcements that will be coming out. The leaders, we've been working very hard behind the scene. There will be a lot of breaking news unveiled during this event. So we want our people to be there so that they can see the work we have done in a very short period of time.
So, Mr. Masako, let's talk a bit about the seating arrangement because I heard you say, I lay emphasis a lot on the category of tickets. So the category of tickets will determine where you say that in the hall.
Yeah, yes. So for example, our patrons, people
Yeah,
who's spending that $250,
yeah.
listen, you will be treated like a kings and queens because we
Okay,
have a specific seating arrangement for you. You will have your personal server that will come there to serve you. People will
okay,
greet you to usher you to your seat. You will not be among the general team that ain't no coming in because we have to
okay,
treat our special guests different. The same with couple people that purchase the $150 ticket. You have specific area that you'll be seated because we want you to be more comfortable. There's a reason why people pay more money and less. Let's say, for example, if you went to the basketball game or to watch a football game, depending on the seat level, you pay more money or pay less. So we try
okay.
to do the same thing to make our guests feel more comfortable. But don't
Hmm.
get me wrong, regardless you paying your $75, you're still gonna have comfort. We have enough room for you, beautiful seat, well designed, and you have an amazing time. And we have one of Liberia's uh, best gospel musician, the Thomas Duo and his wife, Kuku Duo. They will be there to grace the occasion. Fortunately for me tonight, I've been interviewed by the MC, Mr. Volcano Shelton. He's the MC for the event. That's a breaking
Yeah.
news, right?
It's a breaking news for the issues room.
Yeah, breaking news for the issue. So Mr.
Congratulations,
Volcano
Mr.
Shelton will be
Shelton.
the MC for the event. Other people have not seen Mr. Shelton. He's a very professional broadcast journalist. He will be in Trenton. It will be an opportunity to come and take a selfie with him and listen to him as he
Oh
drives.
yeah, I forgot. You got to be in the photo with me, right?
You have to be in the photo.
All right. So Peter,
So,
I got
Mr.
a
Cindy, I
question
know
for
you're
you.
coming too with your beautiful wife. I know you
I
received the
come in.
invitation. You will be in
Yeah,
that too. So far so good. That's the format of the event. And I want to pass this information over, Mr. Sandy, before I take further question. We
sure.
are starting on time. I know many times our Liberian people have the tendency of saying we have Liberian time. We are going by American time because we live in America. We want to start this program sharp 7 p.m. because we have other stuff to do like making presentation, keynote speaker have to address us, we have to raise funds, and we have to network. We are not only going to that hall to listen to speeches, we are going there to network. There are many people coming to town that you have not met for some time now. There are other people you have heard a name, you have not seen them before. They will be here. We want to have the opportunity to dance, to eat our food, and knock glasses together. So please come on time. 7 p.m. is 7 p.m. If you choose to come 9 p.m., if dinner time pass, well, then it's on you. You will join the program wherever it stands. But we are going ahead with the program at 7 p.m. Even if the president is not in the building, we will start the program. This is why we lay strong emphasis on time, and we want to encourage all of our guests, our community people, to please respect the time and come to support us.
What would be the
Yeah.
duration of the event?
So we have the hall from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. So most likely
Okay.
by 12:30 a.m. we'll have to wind down, because by 1 a.m. we have to remove our deco and we have to vacate the hall. So we have
Okay.
the hall from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. This is why we want to have our formal program. At least we can finish by 9:30. The rest of the evening we'll have it to network before we leave from the building.
In
All
terms
right.
of security, the
Moses,
community where you're taking these people, how safe is that community?
Well, it's safe. Ewing Township is a very beautiful township. Matter of fact, the mayor of Ewing, he's been very supportive. He provided the soccer field and guarantee of security during the Independence program. He has
Yeah.
also done the same. In addition to that, we have hired two able-bodied private security firm that will be at the door to enforce the dress code regulations and make sure people get a ticket before entering the building. So I can assure our guests coming in from far and near that the issue of security should be no worry. There will be no fighting. There will be no criminal activities, because we'll be well protected.
Now
thank you.
talk to
Hold on,
us a
Moses.
bit
Moses,
about
Moses,
volcano
can you
quickly.
hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I want to go to intermission.
Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, if you guys are listening to us tonight, in fact, someone asked, "What's the purpose of the organization?" Uh, I think he's expanded on it, but as the interview continues, you will get more insight. But we just want to remind you that you're here with us in the Issues Room, our 40, or rather 98th edition, here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can catch us, follow us, like us, share the link. We are the alternative social media platform here discussing the things that matter to our country, matter to us here in the diaspora, matter to Black Africa, the continent, and so forth. So when we come here to hold these conversations, it's not always about the Liberian politics, the Liberian uh, negatives. There's some positives coming out of Liberia. A group of Liberians who are connected through the
Yeah.
Liberian Community Association of Central Jersey and the metropolitan areas, who have come together to organize themselves for the purpose of, you know, empowerment, development, and sharing the resources. But before you come in, Moses, I wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah, go
put
ahead.
this question so that it drives the conversation quickly. Peter, look at the Liberian associations here in America. You are looking for a hall that compels you to move your program to a working day. And people say we form our organization, we building clinic in Liberia, we building, high school, we're building this, but you don't even have an office here. The organization travels from president to president. I'm sure the new office is now in the president's house, right? You maybe
No, luckily
UPS.
for us,
Yeah, I'm
because
just saying
our
something. I'm just saying something. It's
yeah.
just
Just being
hypothetical.
hypothetical,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you find this happening. And one of the things I said in Aja and Mr. Sandy, who is president emeritus, he loves that title. Um, I said that we can't continue to take care of Liberia and leave ourselves undone.
Right.
Absolutely.
Aja should have a functioning office, whether it through is by cyber means or a physical building. Something has to happen. But every time we take the money, we send it to Liberia. We send it to Liberia. And here you're looking for hall. So what is the major project for this? Is it for you now to get a hall? Is that the first and foremost priority?
So our foremost priority, yes, is to get what we call the Liberian Community Center. The Liberian Community Center will be used as a one-stop shop venue for all of our activities. Now, the whole aspect is one, because within that particular facility, if Liberian citizen within our organization or within the community wants to have, let's say, for example,
A wedding?
shower, birthday, or wedding reception, you have easy access to that. You'll be given first and preference. Again, that money coming back to the organization is not leaving the community. That's one goal. Number two, we feel bad. There are a lot of senior citizens here that need to have access to that benefit, the social security, healthcare, and what have you. They don't have the means. Some are computer savvy, some of them don't know how to navigate a computer. We want to ensure that we have a computer lab position over there that we can be able to have some volunteers to educate these people or train them or assist them in navigating that system to have access to that benefit. The same with Liberian children. There are so many people living in the United States that cannot afford a computer. Now we are hit with recession. Our hearts are with them. We want to ensure that with the Liberian Community Center, people can go to these places on a case-by-case basis to, I mean, almost like a library. Now you have various library in various districts, right? They will be able to go there and access these things. Thirdly, there are so many Liberians entrepreneurs that live here within the United States, in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and other areas that people don't know. That area will be used to network, to have our strategic meeting. We're going to have career fairs to ensure that our Liberian brothers and sisters that also have career, that need jobs, they can be able to have opportunity within our cycle. Like for me, I run my own LLC. I have about 4 persons working with me. I want to expand to other places. We will use that opportunity to empower people. You have several other Liberians doing great jobs, but we need the atmospheres to be able to do that. So whatever funds that will be generated from this event will be used towards that project. Now, we have earmarked few places. And one great job we have done was that we will manage to solidify our relationship with the township of Hamilton and also Trenton through the two mayors. And these people are giving our commitment by showing our various properties that we can have to be our own. Now, even if we are to get this on the auction for cheaper price or for free, we need to spend money to remodel this facility. We want to be adequately prepared. We don't want to make the big move and we get a facility today, we don't have a dime to get it. I know aside from just raising this money, the leaderships we've been reaching out to corporate organizations. This is one of the main reasons why we rebranded to get a 513 status, because someone giving you something above $1,000, they want to write it off on a tax bill. We want to be adequately prepared to reach out to these people and get access. More to that, there are a lot of funding on the state, the county, and federal level. We are eligible to obtain this funding. If we get the funding to open a Liberian food basket, where do we go? In somebody's basement to put the S-bar to go collect it? No. We need a venue for our own where our people can come out of every Saturday or every Wednesday, depending whatever day we choose, to be able to get it. I went to Minnesota. I saw how organized the team is over there. I met with the president. I was taking on a gala tour. He coached me. He showed me the way. I came by, I brought it to my people. So we have to adapt these system and new techniques to move forward. Everybody know about Trenton. Everybody know about Hamilton. These are places where you have thousands of Liberians residing. What do we have to show for our own? So don't forget about the petty politics, because even if we get this facility, other non-profit organizations that fall within the Liberian community will also have the opportunity to use that. If the Liberian community leadership, which is the umbrella, access grant from the state level to implement project, it is we're going to other social clubs that are already registered here to implement this stuff, but we need able to call our own that we can meet. For me, I feel bad all the time. We have to appeal to churches to use the facility to have community meeting. We have to use people's basement. I mean, it's not a bad thing to do for temporary, but what is the long-term goal? I don't want after our 2 years tenure, another person coming struggling for the same thing. We don't want that to happen. So this is what we want to put into place, measures that our people will be well suited. That way the next leadership that will take over will build on the foundation. We ran on this during the campaign promise. I told people I'm a businessman, but I tell my people what I say I would do is what I would do, because my word is my representation. We ran on all of these stuff during the campaign. Now campaign is over. We need to fulfill our promises. And that's why we're trying to rally the community and our guests, our foreign partners, to support our leadership for the common good. We're going to start here and take it to Liberia. And I will later on, maybe along the line, expand on some of the great things we have done since we took office, because there are other people that have the that misconceived notion that, well, the people that are just free talkers, they have not done anything. But we have done so many great things for this community, and we are still doing more.
So, Mr. Vice President,
Yes.
talk to us a bit about the offices that will be inaugurated Friday of next week. Who are those officers and what do they bring to the table?
Well, from the executive side, we have the president, Mr. Anthony Pai. Um, he's a professional Liberian young man. He contributed back home immensely. He's a real estate investor. He worked with the Sumo Arm during the war and able to disarm so many of our people, educated them to some extent. You have me, Peter Mazikwa, a young Liberian businessman. I own 6 different companies, both in the United States and in Liberia, with the total of 54 staff, and we are expanding beyond. I specialize in insurance, all variety of insurance in 17 states license. We have the financial secretary, Jerry Kerr. He's a professional he's a financial professional. He owns his own accounting firm. He help prepare your taxes. We have Roland Roberts. He into the human services area. He's the secretary general. We have Patricia Jala. She's a professional caterer. She is the treasurer for the community. That's complete the member
The
finance
list.
committee. We have 5, and then you come
Okay.
to the board. We have 7 board members. You have Talumeda, the former president for the community. She is member of the board. You have Mr. Rupert Peter. Mr. Rupert Peters is the chairman of the board of directors. He runs his own small business, branding Real Man Cigar. You also have the vice chairman of the board, Mr. Prince Bay. He owns his own, a transportation logistics company that helps in the community and with other businesses. You have Mr. Swansea Goba. You also have Mr. Flex Azaya and Mother Cecilia Kofa Duo. She's a former aspirant in Liberia. She contested the election before. She been a mentor to so many girls and elderly people here, and we grateful to have her on the team. We also have Mr. James Allen. Mr. James Allen is a former president for the community who did extremely well as well for the community. He owned a transportation logistics company too. So, I mean, the community carefully selected team of professionals, people of like mind, to work together and move the community forward. And we've been doing that since we took office.
Okay. So, how supportive if is your community in making sure that this program becomes a success?
Well, our people are resolved to come in anonymous on next Friday, the 28th of October, for a successful program. They have demonstrated that by attending meetings. They have contributed every way. Some people are making donations in private, whether meat, rice, or any way they can. They've been doing that. Like I mentioned before, we have been running a grassroots fundraising event, and all credit goes to the community people because, for example, we've been rocking with a lot of deaf in the community. We've been working around the scene. They've been supporting us to make sure that we identify with this family, make sure they get the burial they deserve. So I can assure you that our people are ever ready. They are eager to this. This is why they turned us in a number in May to elect us under the ring. They were there and they are prepared to see us inaugurated and to continue the good work we are doing. So we just try to remind people because in the United States, we are all busy with different issues. We all have other family issues, other personal engagement. We want to keep bringing the bill in the ear to remind them, and also our other guests that also the Central Jersey and the metro areas to also come and support us. But I can assure you, our community people are resolved. They will be in numbers to welcome every one of you coming from other states.
Okay, Volcano.
Yeah, so Peter, you've talked extensively on the internals. Let's go to the external. You say you were going to mention a few things that you've done since your elections. Early this year. What are some of the things you've done so far for the Liberian community, whether here or in Liberia?
So one thing we work on was we were able to obtain an office space where the president can operate from to perform the work of the Liberian of the organization. So we were able to work with the R. Mercer. The R. Mercer has been a strategic partner to the Liberian community. For those who don't know, the Mercer, they deal with people with disability and special needs. They were able to give her an office space for free where we don't have to pay rent, well furnished. They were the person that works from, and he been doing extremely well from that office. We did that in less than a month. We were also able to work with the Mercer to establish um, a branch office in Liberia. That will be the very first overseas investment called the 601, wherein they're going to invest several $1 million into the mental home facility. And people from Liberia, especially in the health sector that qualify, will be able to come to the United States for exchange program, learn school, and go back to work in those homes. And Liberians who are living in the United States that are also licensed in behavior, they are behavior specialists or some area. As you go down for your vacation, you can still be able to volunteer to the art and get paid per hour. So even though you go on your family leave vacation, whatever vacation you are, you'll be able to volunteer to that center and also get paid. So these are opportunities. These are programs that we've been working on. More to that, what we did was after the election, we realized that we have to follow this program that came out. We embarked on major cleanup exercise. We tried to reach out to senior citizens. There are so many senior citizens here that don't have the means of helping themselves within the yard because some of them have family far away. Some of them here by themselves. They are aging. They are not medically well. Our leadership decided to reach out. We started with Mount Vicky Yard where we usually have our meeting. And we've been expanding to other areas. We also recognize all fathers within our community. They were certificated for the efforts and the work they've been doing. We did the same to the mother. We also rally the community. We understand that in the United States, there are so many parents struggling to look at the needs of their children. So we were able to identify over 300 children, not only Liberian children. We have people from the Hispanic community, people from the Asian community that came in and received educational supply as part of our back to school initiative that was organized by both the first lady of the community and the second lady. And it was a grassroots support. We have several community members dig into that personal pocket and provided funding. Some of them provided copybooks, backpack, and were able to identify with these people both in the Central Jersey area and in the metropolitan area in Pennsylvania. We rebranded the organization that we mentioned, revised the constitution, and we are about to hit the bigger one that has to do with the Liberian Community Center because these are things that have been lining up. We also been reaching out to various communities, organizations within the community because, like for me, when I came to the US, I never knew there was a community that existed here called the Liberian community in the Trenton area when I moved in 2018. So I was identified with one other organization thinking that they were representing the Liberian community, but not. But now we got to know that the Liberian, we have a separate community. We try to work with every organization has to see how best we all can strategize and work for the common good of our people. We've been reaching out to them, and you're gonna see if not all those that will be available, you see majority at the inauguration. So we've been working on this, and we intend to extend our olive garden to Liberia, where in this year, by the end of the year, we'll be identifying with 500 Liberian children. We'll be supplying them with educational supplies. I mean, just to buttress what they already have because they need it more than what we need here, but also we that here need something. So these are some of the things that we've been doing or we have already done. I don't want to unveil things. Mr. President have a plan to unveil our 2023 vision for the Liberian community. That will be on the PowerPoint presentation during the inaugural program. So, but what I just listed are things that we have done on the 5 months since we came to power. Our community have been represented at the ULA level. We attended the ULA convention in Atlanta, Georgia. We were fully represented, and people were so happy after years of absence. We are also represented the community at all of various functions in Maryland and Delaware, Pennsylvania, and other areas, and we are moving stronger.
So
Thank you.
after the inaugural program on Friday, what happens on Saturday?
So
Any plan?
well, on Saturday, we have one of the board members that invited us to her place. Coincidentally, she has already organized a very big event in honor of her sister. So we don't want to
Okay.
have parallel programs. We have funeral for one of our mother. She'll be buried on that same Saturday, which will be the 29th We will go there to show support, and then we will proceed as Sister House to at least climax the evening. So we want to encourage everybody to go there. The venue, the address will be provided as time go by, maybe doing the inaugural program. But we are going to have a welcome party because some of our guests coming from other states, they will be here. So Thursday evening, we have not finalized the venue yet. The venue will be circulated within our chat room and social media page, hopefully between now and Sunday, because the young people of the community, the youth wing, they decided to undertake that initiative. So we want to give them the time to do that planning, and then we can be able to disseminate that information. It's just a way of building the momentum towards the midday on Friday.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Thank you. Listen, we were supposed to be here for an hour. Is there anything else that you wanted to put through before we wrap up?
Well, I just want to say thank you to the Issue Room family for being there for us, giving us the opportunity. You did the same during the electoral process. We came here, we articulated our platforms, and we are living up to that because we, as a media people, we always keeping people feet to fire, and we don't want to fall in trouble. And I want to say thank you to the president for the Liberian community, Mr. Anthony Pai, for the level of work, for the level of unity that he has brought to this community and still doing. We want to say thank you to all of our members, even people that still sitting on the fence, that still seeing what we will do. We are working very hard, but we count on every one of you for your support. We are there for you. So we want you to be by our side to guide us, lead us through the way, give us the advice, pray for us as the leaders, and we can assure you that we will not let you down. Again, the event is on the 28th of October. It's a black tie affair. Please come in your numbers. Please tell your friends, to your job, to your churches to come and support the Liberian community. We want the entire world to know that we in Trenton and beyond, we are back. Our community is more energized. We are moving forward and we are not moving backward.
So the program
Thank
is next
Mhm.
Friday. If you guys are listening, because when he said the 20th, it sounds like it's long
Yeah,
from
it's
now.
October
So
28th.
yeah,
October
so it's
28th.
next week Friday,
Yeah,
And we
7
start in
p.m.
sharp 7 p.m.
yeah.
What
Today's
you
the
call the
21st.
venue again? Call the venue.
The event will take place at the West Trenton Ballroom. The
Okay.
West
Okay.
Trenton Ballroom is located in Ewing. If you just Google it, it's a familiar
Okay.
place here that almost everybody have been, other ones or twice or more. But we have the flyers that we're going to circulate on our social media page. We'll be doing more media engagement. We want to make another appeal to the issue room. Maybe if we can host us for 5 or 6 minutes next week, just to remind our people, we will appreciate that.
Yeah.
Maybe by
Yeah.
then we have if we have the committee chairperson, she can come on board to explain other things that have been done that I never touched here because she's on another engagement, so she couldn't be on the show tonight along with me. But so far so good. We are all set and ready. Let the momentum keep building up.
So New
Thank you,
Jersey
Peter.
is the place to be next Friday, right?
Yes, New Jersey.
Okay.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for showing
It
up
seems that
tonight.
everything is
We
on
appreciate.
course.
Yep.
We appre- can you guys hear me?
Yes, go ahead,
Yes, we can hear
Volcano.
you.
Yeah. So again, we appreciate you for coming through, and hopefully, yes, if we can get together next week, we'll give you that 5 minute slot if necessary. But again, I think the momentum is high.
Yeah.
We will try to remind the audience if we were, here on Tuesday to tell them, just reiterate that your program is coming up on Fridays. This is a community initiative, and I say this all the time. It's not just about the Liberian noise we make, the negatives. We got to talk about the positives, and when people are coming together for a common good, a cause for the community, a cause that will, spill over to Liberia. Again, we can say, you know, more than thank you for the initiative. So we'll look forward to being there. I'll be there in my black tie and suit, black suit, as you've required by the dress code. Maybe Moses might be there. I don't know, but yes,
Yeah.
we'll be there. So thanks again
Peter.
for to the
Peter is
organization
one
for
of
even
our.
thanks again to the organization for even asking me to serve as your master of ceremonies. It's an honor.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So Volcano, as I was saying quickly, Peter is one of our supporters. When I say one of, it's not on an individual basis, Peter is a community president, so anything he does or anything we can do to lend his support will surely be a part of that. And I can assure you, Peter, my wife and I will be in attendance.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Sandy. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, Peter. Have a good night, my brother. It was
Thank
good
you.
Sure.
having you here in studio with us tonight.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Great show.
Well, Moses, I think we'll wrap up now and call
Yeah.
it a night.
Yeah,
Uh,
we got to call it all night. I
yeah.
think it was a great show. Peter saw the idea and the presentation was good. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
All right. We'll
Okay.
catch up.
Bye bye. Bye.
To all of you, our viewers, we say thank you so much for showing up. We want to thank you, Tyler Miller, Miss Hannah Wiles Yati, minister actually, Thomas Awaji, and all of you who came through here tonight. We appreciate your continued support to the Issues Room for being our audience base. We want you to encourage other viewers, other family members, other friends that you have on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever, to join us here and expand our audience. We look forward to growing. We're just about a year, but I can imagine what's going to happen come next year. How much work will be put into what we do, particularly when we going toward the elections of our country. So again, we say thank you so much. We'll be back here Tuesday by the grace of God. And we want to just leave you here tonight. Good night.